So Trump just said something that he's never said before. He says that we might cut income tax, not by 50%, not by 20%, not even by 10%. We might cut it completely. So let's see if this is real or if it's just great marketing. He says that income tax might be gone in a couple of years. Now, he said this to U.S. service members, which is a bold choice here. And he says that tariff revenue will be so large, it replaces income tax completely. He says that cuts could be substantial or almost completely. But of course, we have zero details shared on how this will be carried out, which leaves us with massive promises, but even bigger questions here. Now, we have to look at the foundation of the plan. What is all of this standing on? Well, it all depends on tariffs, not corporate tax, not payroll tax, tariffs. And with this plan, we see 10 to 50% tariffs on most imports. This pitched as a new revenue engine and is claiming to push manufacturing back to the US. And on top of that, it is being claimed to raise trillions of dollars here. Well, before we even get to the money, we have to look at the legal side of this first. You see, the Supreme Court might overturn the tariffs altogether here. If the Supreme Court of the United States pulls the plug, it's simply game over for this plan or even the $2,000 checks that were going to be sent out next year. You see, Trump used emergency powers called the IEEPA to enact the tariffs on these countries. But we have a problem here because Congress controls taxes and spending. So justices have already called the approach an overreach, meaning that the use of IEEPA to enact these tariffs might be an overreach and overstep, which means that we potentially have $100 billion in refund liability if these tariffs are overturned. All right, let's talk math here. Tariffs cannot replace $2.2 trillion. That's it, period. You see, tariffs have historically raised between $100 billion and $150 billion. Now, income taxes raise about $2.2 trillion. You see the difference there? A pretty big gap. So to replace it, tariffs need to be 10 to 20 times bigger. And if that was the case, imports would collapse long before that revenue even appears. But we have to give Trump some credit here. He is swinging for the fences. Whether you agree or not, it is pretty bold thinking because tariffs do raise revenue. Tariffs can change global behavior. Tariffs can bring leverage in negotiations with other countries. And he's pushing a big narrative here. America first, taxes last. Now, here's the uncomfortable reality of it all. Tariffs act like a tax, not on other countries, but on you. You see, nobody likes hearing this, but it's completely true. Importers pass costs to consumers. Then consumers pay higher prices. Then companies pay higher input costs, which raises inflation risks immediately. And we have started to see some of that already. Speaking of inflation, it is already the #1 voter pain point. Groceries, housing, cars, everything right now is simply more expensive. So the timing of this is the issue here because Americans don't want another price shock. Tariffs often raise prices on everyday goods. Voters in recent elections have voted on affordability. We saw this across the United States, in Georgia, in New York, so on and so forth. And you cannot cut taxes with one hand and then raise prices with the other. What does that solve, really? But with most things, we have to look at the political strategy around this. This message is designed to electrify middle America. When he comes out and says that we're going to give $2,000 checks early next year, that's a call to electrify middle America. When he comes out and says we're going to eliminate income tax, that is a call to electrify middle America. You see, it makes taxes simple, makes the villain foreigners, right, who are overcharging us on things, and makes the solution patriotic. No income tax is a powerful headline. Contrast sharply with Democrats' policy approach here. Tariffs are framed as a tax on foreign competitors. It's clean, it's bold, and it's likely to go viral for Trump. But the question is, who actually benefits from this move here? You see, eliminating income tax helps high earners the most. The top earners pay the most income tax. Now, removing income tax skews the benefit right to the top. And it simply makes sense. It's just math, right? And tariffs hit lower income harder because tariffs tend to bring higher prices. And what income group feels those higher prices the most? Well, it's the lower income group. It's a redistribution upward. Okay, so let's look at the constitutional reality of this. You see, the president can't eliminate tax without Congress. That's simply not how America works. He needs legislative approval. He needs the majority in the House plus the Senate. He needs to offset $2.2 trillion in revenue. And we saw how that math simply doesn't add up. So this isn't a one-man decision. A whole lot of people, a whole lot of groups are going to need to get on board here to make all of this work. And that's just with our own country. But what about other countries? You see, if we tax their goods, then they tax ours. Allies retaliate. Export industries get crushed. Agriculture, aviation, machinery take a hit. And tariff war becomes a revenue drain. So this is a risk here that we have to be aware of if we move forward with this plan. So what are some better options here? What could actually work? I've come up with 3 of them. Let me know what your thoughts are. Option number 1 are targeted tariffs plus targeted tax cuts. So instead of just slamming the tariff sledgehammer, let's use a scalpel. Let's get surgical with it. Let's use strategic tariffs on unfair trade. That revenue should go to tax cut for lower income household, first time home buyers, and small businesses. Why? Because lower income households feel higher prices the most. First time home buyers, because housing has simply become unaffordable, knowing that great wealth has been built through the use of housing. And then give tax cuts to small businesses. Why? Because they employ most of the United States. So this is a win-win. You still get the political win without economic chaos here. Okay, that's option number 1. Option number 2 is simply simplifying income tax instead of killing it. Make it easier, make it fairer, make it cheaper. Sort of like how other countries do. Combine brackets, increase standard deductions, reduce loopholes for ultra high earners, and lower compliance costs. Okay, that could work. What do you think about option number 2? Let's talk about option number 3. Option number 3 is to attack the real problem here, which is affordability. Taxes aren't the number 1 pain point for people. Prices are. So if you solve affordability, you simply win back the country. You expand housing credits. You support first-time home buyers. You reduce payroll burden. And you use tariffs only where strategic and not as a blanket on the real issues here, which is affordability. So putting this all together, we have to look at the big picture here. We have a massive promise with potentially massive consequences. And while bold ideas are great here, math and law still matter. So eliminating income taxes through tariffs seem like a moonshot here. Tariffs alone cannot fund it. Consumers would feel the price pressure. The Supreme Court ruling could blow the entire thing up. But the conversation still matters because America actually does need tax reform. I think we can all agree on that. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Do you like my options? Do you like Trump's options? Do you think that no income tax is an actual possibility here? Now, make sure you like this video, share this video. It definitely helps to get this out to more people so we can have the conversation. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for more updates on all things taxes, money. My name is Karan, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.